And we begin tonight with breaking news. Here's a live look at I-10. This is near 67th Avenue, where the eastbound lanes are currently closed. In fact, it's been closed now for about 3 hours. ADOT says that a crash happened near the Loop 202 South Mountain. I-10 is currently blocked there. Now all traffic is being sent onto the Loop 202. Now this is some video from the scene a little bit earlier this evening. We don't know the extent of any injuries there or when the roadway will reopen. But if you are headed that way, you'll certainly want to make sure to take another route. Thanks for watching 12 News, everyone. I'm Kariba Divine. A man living in Mexico who was visiting Arizona for the holidays was detained by ICE, even though his family says he came here legally. It happened earlier this week in Santan Valley. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly spoke with one of his relatives about this. And Chase, what did they tell you?
She tells me the 27-year-old was being detained here at the ICE field office in downtown Phoenix for close to 3 days before he was finally released. Every year, 27-year-old Edouard Gonzalez drives from Rocky Point up to the valley to be with his family for Christmas.
He's got his brother's wife, he's got nieces, cousins. It's a big family.
One of his relatives, Samantha Cooley, who is also an immigration advocate, says Gonzalez obtained a travel visa that was issued in September and set to expire in March. On Tuesday, Cooley said Gonzalez and his brother were driving in Santan Valley after getting coffee. They were in the brother's work truck that is also his personal vehicle.
All of a sudden, one of the officers came out and followed them and pulled them over.
It was a Pinal County Sheriff's deputy. Cooley says Gonzalez provided his travel visa when an HSI agent arrived, looked at the travel visa, but detained Gonzalez anyway. She says the reason why?
They stated that because he was in a work truck, he was working, and so they had to take him in.
Because Gonzalez's visa was for travel and not work. This is the truck they were in when it was pulled over that day.
They were getting coffee and then running errands for the day, so it was apparent he was not going to work.
According to Cooley, Gonzalez was then taken here to the downtown Phoenix ICE field office where he was being held awaiting possible deportation.
It's mind-blowing. I see it happening all the time to other families. I just had not thought it would happen to my family.
She started calling Arizona U.S. senators and representatives to get answers. Then close to 3 days later, Gonzalez was finally released.
It was amazing seeing him out, but you could just tell he was shell-shocked. Like, we had food and water for him. He wanted nothing. He just wanted to go home.
The problem was, Cooley says they didn't give Gonzalez back any of his documents.
Mexican driver's license, his visa, and his I-94 form, which he needs those documents to return to Mexico.
Saying he's stuck here and at risk of getting detained again.
It's upsetting.
Now, a few hours after that interview, Cooley told me that Gonzalez was able to get those documents, telling me that it was actually the Mexican consulate here that had him. Now, I also reached out to ICE for their side of this whole situation. While they acknowledged my request, they said that they are still working on that statement. We're live in downtown Phoenix tonight. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
All right, Chase, thank you for that. New at 10, Attorney General Chris Mays has joined 19 Democratic attorneys general in suing the Trump administration over a new $100,000 fee for H-1B visas, which are temporary work visas for specialized professionals. Now, the fee used to be between $2,000 to $5,000. The change was announced in September due to claims that the visa program was being overused. The attorneys general say that the fee now exceeds congressional authority and will create financial burdens on employers trying to fill job vacancies. In a statement, Mays warns that the fee will, quote, have a devastating effect on our rural school districts, our growing semiconductor industry, and Arizona's entire economy. Phoenix police are still looking for a person who they say shot a man in Awatuki just after midnight. It happened near 44th Street and Chandler Boulevard. Police say that they found 37-year-old David Martin shot. He died at the scene. Homicide detectives have taken over the investigation, and they're asking anyone with information about this shooting to come forward. You can call Silent Witness. A second man is now in custody after a deadly shooting at Tempe Marketplace. Tempe police say that 25-year-old Dante Gaines was arrested yesterday tied to the December 1st shooting. Investigators say that 19-year-old Dominic Baysinger and his girlfriend went to the parking lot to meet the suspects for an online transaction, but the meetup turned violent. Basinger was critically hurt and later died. Police arrested 20-year-old Fernando Gallegos the day after the shooting. After a controversial $2 billion AI data center in Chandler was rejected last night, questions still remain about whether that decision could be overruled. The facility was proposed near Price and Dobson Roads, covering an area about the size of 7 football fields. Opponents packed last night's meeting, raising concerns about power use, housing needs, and whether the project would truly benefit the community. Back in October, former Senator Kyrsten Sinema warned Chandler officials that the Trump administration could soon decide where those data centers go. She did not attend the meeting, but spoke out earlier today on Fox News criticizing opponents of the project.
There's this massive effort kind of on the left to kind of come into communities and give misinformation around water and energy and AI data centers.
Sinema did not respond to a request for comment on the Chandler vote. New at 10, dozens of volunteers turned out today at a Mesa cemetery, all to make sure that no veteran is forgotten this holiday season. They're preparing thousands of wreaths ahead of a national ceremony that's happening tomorrow morning. 12 News journalist Kyle Simchuk explains how you can help honor a hero.
One by one, these fresh evergreen wreaths are unboxed.
I'll take that and collapse it down for you.
Thank you, ma'am.
It takes a small army of volunteers, and some don't know a single name on these headstones, and they say that doesn't matter.
We don't know them all, but we owe them all. And this is one way that we can show them that we appreciate everything that they've done for us.
For the past 4 years, Mountain View Funeral Home and Cemetery in Mesa has participated in wreaths across America. Roughly 2,500 of them just arrived from Maine, and on Saturday, they'll be placed on the headstone of every veteran.
We have 6 World War I veterans that are buried in our cemetery. We have a Medal of Honor, and there's many, many veterans from World War II, Korea, Desert Storm, Somalia, and of course, Vietnam.
Elisa Kersilik is the vice president of Mountain View Funeral Home and Cemetery.
When I walk through the cemetery, it makes me feel proud to be an American and live in a country where we all know freedom is not free.
Tomorrow morning, more than 5,000 cemeteries across the nation will hold wreath-laying ceremonies at the exact same time.
And then you will read the person's name, place the wreath. If you yourself are a veteran, you would salute. If you're not a veteran, you can just simply bow.
Reading the name out loud, that's the important part.
Robert Raymond Henry, U.S. Air Force. You know, they say a person dies twice. The first time is when they take their last breath. The second time is the last time anybody ever says their name. We here at Mountain View make sure that never happens.
Tomorrow's ceremony begins at 10 a.m. at Mountain View Cemetery in Mesa and is open to the public. Anyone can lay a wreath.
This is a labor of love. We would not be doing anything else with this.
In Mesa, Kyle Simchuk, 12 News.
Those cemeteries are going to look beautiful after those ceremonies. Kyle, thank you.